So you want to get into virtual reality. It's a gaming experience that hasn't been rivaled by anything so far yet, in my opinion. From just normally playing games, to playing rhythm games, to even socializing with people. Virtual reality is in every aspect you can think of really great. Except for being beginner friendly. Because where do you even begin at this point? A couple of years ago, you had maybe 2 or 3 headsets you can choose from. And now there's so much information out there that you don't even know where to look at this point. On YouTube, beginner guides are just practically not existent anymore. They're either completely outdated by this point, being made by corporations, or completely biased. So in this video, I will give you all the information that I know about choosing a VR headset that's right for you. First, we're gonna talk about the elephant in the room, and that is Valve's second VR headset that's probably gonna come out in November of this year, also known as the Valve Deckard. As of now, there's no information on it yet, except for the leaks that are available. It's expected to come out late November of 2025, and it's not really budget friendly, but do know that this headset is coming out, and I'm making this video in August, so in a couple of months this video may be already outdated. If Valve Deckard is really that great, I will probably leave some updates in the comments or in the description, or just make a second video at that point. But like I was saying, the price of this headset is $1,200, which isn't really budget friendly. And if you're watching this video, you're probably just wanting to begin with VR, so this price set isn't really that great. To find out which headset best suits you, we need to split the headsets up in 2 categories, PCVR and standalone. For what we know, Valve Deckard may be a standalone headset or some kind of hybrid device. We don't know yet, so I'm leaving this out in the middle right now. But other standalone headsets may include some that you know, like the Oculus Quest 2. That's a headset that I've been using for years now. And on the Steam hardware survey from July of 2025, barely a month ago, it still ranked number 1 as the most used VR headset of 2025, with a astounding 32% use case. But there are also other standalone headsets on this list, such as the Meta Quest 3 and 3S, the Pico 4, the original Quest, which is still in here surprisingly, the Meta Quest Pro, and some others that I haven't really heard of. These are both the most used and the most popular VR headsets currently. Ever since the Quest 2, standalone has really taken off in popularity. Before my Quest 2, I had this weird HP headset. The quality wasn't anything to write home about, but it was great enough for me to fall in love with VR, which before my Quest 2 was actually a PCVR headset. Some of the PCVR headsets include the Valve Index, the Oculus Rift S, the HTC Vive, the original Oculus Rift, any of the Windows Mixed Reality headsets, which was my first. Just most of the Vive series actually, like the Vive Pro and the Bigscreen Beyond. There are probably more in this list that I, again, don't know about. If you go with any of the more well-known brands like Valve or Bigscreen or Oculus or even HTC, you're probably good, but you do need to pick a headset that's the most comfortable to you. But I can already hear you say, I don't want to spend so much money on a headset that I don't know if it's even gonna be comfortable for me. And you're fully correct to say that. And it's not even all about the comfort anymore. Most of these headsets that are still on this list are outdated. The Rift series from Oculus, they don't make anymore. Most of these headsets have been used for years now or have been bought second hand. Windows Mixed Reality is getting shut down. And again, the 2 biggest headsets that are currently on this list have outdated hardware in them. The Oculus 2 is 5 years old at this point. It's not as powerful anymore as it was 5 years ago. Not only that, the Quest 2 has Fresnel lenses, which compared to the new pancake lenses are, from what I heard, terrible. So if most of these are outdated and pricey, which one should you buy? Well, let's go over the ones that are still available to buy and are potential options. The Meta Quest 3 is a somewhat more budget option for new VR players. The hardware that's inside the Quest 3 is pretty good, and currently in 2025 it's still a viable headset to buy. But 600 euros is a little steep for a beginner headset. That's where the Quest 3S comes in. While it does have the same internals as the Quest 3, they did downgrade the lenses. Instead of the new pancake lenses that the Quest 3 and the Quest Pro has, the Quest 3S has still Fresnel lenses, which again, if you're a beginner, it doesn't really matter. When I got my Quest 2 headset, they had the same lenses and I did not complain since that was the norm back then. However, if you go from pancake lenses to those lenses, that's not comfortable at all. If you're really on a budget, the Quest 3S is probably your best bet. It's a standalone headset, so it doesn't require a PC, but I would recommend a PC to play games like VR Chat and Beat Saber. But for some reason you don't want a standalone headset. You have a good PC and you're like, I want PC VR for the best quality, then at this point the Bigscreen Beyond is a really good option. However, it's really pricey. While the original Bigscreen is discontinued, they do have a Bigscreen Beyond 2. And as you can see, the price is not that cheap, especially because with the base model, there's no eye tracking. If you want eye tracking, that's 180 euros more. And then you gotta realize, this headset doesn't come with any controllers. Now you can always buy the Valve Index controller. They don't require you to have the Valve Index headset. However, they cost 300 euros and they're really fragile. And you gotta know that the Bigscreen Beyond 2, except for the controllers, also doesn't work on its own. You also need the base stations, which ideally you need 2 of. This is already going to be on top of everything else, which on top of the Bigscreen Beyond 2's price, you need to add 617 euros, which is just shy of 2000 euros. It's a spicy boy. However, you do have the best comfort since you need to scan your face for a 3D face scan, so they can make a custom fit cushion for your face. There is a universal fit, but it will cost you more actually to buy that than a custom fit. It does give you the best comfort, but it's not really comfortable for the price. But for PCVR, this is by far the best headset that you can possibly buy. If you want new affordable hardware, Quest 3S is possibly the best one that you will find for a cheaper price. The Quest series, in my opinion, is pretty okay. If you're just starting out, you're not gonna have any complaint. It's budget. What more do you really want? For PCVR, there isn't really any real budget options, especially since most PCVR headsets do require base stations to even work, which buying 2 of those alone is already 318 euros. If you really want to have the PCVR experience, you can probably find some things on like sites like eBay, any second-hand store that you can find, just any site where you can find like second-hand stuff. That is how one of my friends who just got into VR bought his Rift S. And to be honest, buying second-hand is also good, especially because you're fighting e-waste by buying used products. Instead of having these products just being thrown away, they can have a second life. But that is pretty much my opinion. If you're someone who already has a VR headset and wants to share their experiences with your VR headset, leave them in the comments down below. If there is a headset that I forgot to mention that is really good for budget, please let me know in the comments down below. But that is pretty much it for this video. If you enjoyed this, don't forget to hit that thumbs up button. If you want to see more, subscribe to my channel. Hit the notification button so you don't miss any uploads from my channel. And let me know in the comments if I missed a headset. And I will see you then in the next video.